Hello, Steeler people. Welcome to the first and probably last after this evening vodcast. Your host is not on screen at the moment because he's absolutely lagging in Wi-Fi and whatever else. So yeah, come from Birmingham. It's still sort of like 2011 here. So what we're going to do is I'll just sort of lay the landmarkers for these guys to have a good old chat, which I've been doing for the past hour, as I've been trying to sort myself out. So yeah, this is going to be unique. Let's put it that way. If I can sort of join in when I can, I will do. But I'm going to leave it to these four gentlemen who've been chatting away anyway. So you know, what are we doing here? So let's just see what's going on. So so basically what we're going to do is the off season. So we'll talk about the off season. Sort of what I want to get from you guys is sort of like the most surprising thing, whether it's somebody who's retired who you didn't think, or a signing. So we could start off with that if you like, guys. We could do that.
Yeah, no problem. But I mean, I missed the first game. We're just talking generally. That we don't have to go through like each individual game, do we? I suppose. But for me, the big,
just the off season.
Yeah, this is the off season, of course. All right, yeah. Ignored me then. I'm on about the wrong bit. Yeah, you're doing.
We should probably add at this point, because of the delay, I think Phil has had about 4. He's on his 4th glass now, I think. It's been interesting.
Yeah, nice.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nah, it's been good. Go on, guys. I've been camping, so if you want to start on the off season, any little moments of notes?
I was just shocked when I saw like the fact that Tampa Bay just managed to keep all 22 of their starters both on offense and defense, because
that's impressive.
Yeah, that's just, I think, especially including as well some of the key backup players as well, like Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette.
I can't believe he's still there.
I know. And it's just, so just like you don't really see that nowadays, because like players who are at the end of their contracts will get big money moves like to either rebuilding teams or like middle of the pack teams try and get to improve. So I just think it's a big shock to see that in the current climate that teams are being able to keep all 22 of their starters.
I think I think the reason for that is they can see the potential. You see a lot of these players, and Tampa Bay, they're obviously towards the end of their careers, but they've put together a bloody good team. And a lot of these people thinking, well, let's just try and get another Super Bowl out of it. And I guarantee that as soon as this, as soon as the Super Bowl gets won, if they do win it again, half his team will just retire, and then you'll find that Tampa Bay then they'll just be in they'll be in the midst of like hell because
the one before Brady.
Well, I know, but that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like that, but as soon as that happens, and it will, it's going to be really interesting to see how that team's going to cope with that, because they have, like you said, they've got a great team, and I think what's really interesting about that team, they're not playing it for the money, because they're now a lot of these players that have obviously come in, they're all veterans, or and stuff like that. They've already made the money. They want to get the glory.
You can see why Tom Brady went where he did.
Totally.
It's like it's pretty much set up for him. You saw the
of course.
And it's like,
team around him.
Yeah, I'm at this age now. I don't, I want that kind of comfort blanket of just like having that retaining player kind of like the system they've got.
Yeah.
But it's the timing of everything. You couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
This was the time to be able to do it, and that's why he switched. And
at
the time you think that was an odd pairing. Why would you go there? But that now because it's
Yeah, it's interesting how many veterans that aren't on big money. I think sort of Evans might be one of the few players that got paid. But when you talk about Brown, Gronkowski, players of that kind of caliber that are on
Fournette
minimum, Fournette, they're on like minimum wage. They're on peanuts, and they all kept healthy. throughout the postseason. And Brady didn't play that well in the postseason, aside from the Super Bowl. He had 3 picks against the Packers. He had a few picks against the Saints.
And it would just Brown Gommendance against Washington.
Yeah, but I mean that defense was legit.
But that proves it, doesn't it? You don't need
400 yard games every game to.
Nah, not at all.
And even in the Super Bowl, I just thought if you were colorblind in that Super Bowl, that was the New England Patriots. The plays they were running, the kind of pick screens and the Gronkowski routes that they're running, it's like, oh my god, this is
definitely not.
This is McDaniel's offense.
Because Brady's had some influence there.
And it's interesting
how Peyton Manning was when he went to Denver, because he had a lot of influence on Denver's playbook when he went there. So I can kind of see some similarities in that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like Bruce Arians is a high to low coach. He coaches from touchdown to check down, whereas Brady's kind of all the other way. So you could just see throughout the year how they just gradually went from one philosophy to the next, and everyone bought into it. So
no, I agree, and it's quite interesting actually. When you look at the Tampa Bay setup, about like you said, brilliant defense, half decent offense, not necessarily the best offense, and it wasn't. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't crap. But you know what I mean? It was.
At least had a ground game, and
but that's how you win the Super Bowl. If we had managed to get another 10 points a game, by our offense, we would have won the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, because last year, that's what let us down. Because at the end of the day, the defense ran out of gas, and they're going to, because they were literally winning the games for us, like day in, day out, all the time. And it's like, if our offense had just had that little bit more, because they're only like, if we only needed a few more points, apart from last, we just needed them a few more points just to secure it, take the gas off, so like the defense could like chill out a bit and just take a bit of that slack. Even just a little bit, you know what I mean? That's all you need. You have to look at Denver. A couple of years back when the Manning final season, it was dog shit. Don't get me wrong, it was. But it was the defense that actually won that Super Bowl. But he did enough just to get them through that line. And even then, it wasn't great. But it was just great, that one. But he deserved it, because I think he's one of the best of all time. But it's just one of those things, and I just genuinely feel it's such a massive missed opportunity last year.
I had a feeling like at the start of last season that it was win now or for a bit of a rocky ride. I mean, I still feel like now that last year was our chance.
I think this is the same this year now. I mean, why else would you draft a running back in the first round?
That's
not the sign. That's not the sign of the team rebuilding.
Last season, with the amount of end of contracts we had, the amount of free agents we had, last season was win now. This is start of the trying to get the new way. I know we still have Ben, we still have a lot of the veterans, but still it's time.
There's a lot of moving parts
for the future.
Definitely. I just about to say, it's getting a young team actually. You have got your veterans, but they are starting to tail off and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
But actually, we've got a relatively young team, and it's great actually that I'm actually for Ben staying this year, because what we're actually doing here is we're now what I've been seeing with all the movements, like in the off season, is we've been plugging gaps that really needed to be, like we were on about the O-line before, like with Jason's Birmingham internet when tits up, but what about the O-line? But actually, it might actually be okay. They've been doing work, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like I'm perfect, but they are starting to plug these gaps. And what was pleasant in the the preseason games was you could genuinely see that. Forget the last game. That was it's always a dog shit game, that one anyway.
You just need to gel. That's it. With an O-line, you just need communication and togetherness and to gel. That's really even if you're half decent, but you gel together, then you've got a chance.
And I think the best move that they've done in the off season is sign Haskin.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why anyone's not said that. It's true. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be the second coming, but I'll tell you something. is in a better situation than we're in a better situation for when we're literally just about to lose our franchise quarterback.
Well, imagine like other teams, they don't have what we have in terms of like two legitimate. I mean, you can say what you want about Rudolph, but he's a very functional number 2.
Yeah, he's a good number 2. But then when you've got Haskins in there,
exactly.
and then you've got him.
You've got reliability, is what I mean. Most people don't have. Like,
I know he's had his issues, but you don't be a top 20 pick without having that
some ceiling there. Yeah.
That was never in doubt, really, that he had the talent.
But I just think that his circumstances in Washington were. I'm not going to say they were bad circumstances. He didn't help himself. And I really hope that when Mike Tomlin brought him in and Kevin Colbert and just said, "Look, you realise you were an absolute idiot. Going out to strip clubs and all that kind of crap." And
Colbert never wants to sugarcoat it though. So I think you did. So because I think they did talk him down and say you acted bad in these circumstances. Time to knuckle down and get your career back on track because
I think as well.
Not want to sugarcoat things.
I think as well he fits a Matt Canada system better than Mason Rudolph does. I was a little bit surprised that Josh Dobbs was released because I just thought
has he actually been released officially? Have I missed something there? He's on the injury list. Is he
on the injury list? I'll check.
I could be wrong there, though. To be fair.
I'll check.
I don't think I saw him that had been released.
He's not in the top 3. He's on the reserve list. That's right.
Okay.
But the fact that he's not in the active roster is a bit of a surprise because I would have thought that of all the quarterbacks in the room, obviously Ben is your starter. I don't think there's any debate about that. But where Matt Canada comes in is that he's much more creative when it comes to running plays than what Randy Fittner was. There's going to be more read options. Oh, he was awful. Every running play we had was the exact same. It was the same run and play over and over and over again out of the shotgun. And I just think, Ben is 39, but he can still run the ball out of under center. You don't have to all play every single thing out of pistol gun. I just think having Haskins is going to give a much more dimension for Matt Canada's offense.
I like him. I like his style. It's quite interesting, like a Steelers uniform, but he suits it. And you know what I think is like the really big thing? It didn't seem to be under pressure, and that's what Ben was good at. Especially in the pocket, because that's where Rudolph was absolutely shite. He had he had an all right armish, but in the pocket he couldn't get out of the pocket, and he panicked, and you could see that.
Yeah,
and then he affects everything.
Couldn't see the pressure as well. He just couldn't see the pressure coming from.
Yeah,
exactly. Whereas Haskins seemed to be a bit more aware around everything, and I kind of like that. And that actually reminds me a little bit of Ben in the early days. I'm not doing a comparison. It's a slightly different quarterback, but
he's got similar physical talents to what Ben had in his early years, especially when we had Arians as our offensive coordinator. He's got similar qualities to Ben. Then,
can extend plays with his feet.
For an arm. He's got the ability, if he can, if he wants to, on occasion, get out of the pocket a bit. But the most important thing is his arm, and he has got good intelligence in terms of football intelligence.
But he does that when he gets out into space. Does the jump pass? Mechanics are all over the shop there.
But that's why I'm not unhappy that Ben is there, because I think Ben. Well, this is the big worry: is Ben Roethlisberger going to be a bit less salty these days? Is he actually going to look at Dwayne Haskins and go, right, don't do that. Don't do the jump passes. Don't do the stupid, you know what I mean? The moves that just get interceptions and, throw the ball into triple coverage like he did at Washington. Because Ben, I'm not saying Ben's perfect. He's had history of bringing guys into the locker room and, not being the kind of
I think
veteran that you
has changed in terms of...
he has changed.
So
you hope that you're able to sit down with Haskins and actually look at tape and go, right, this is what you need to do, and actually.
Ben rates him. Ben massively rates Haskins, and I think that's a massive key thing. Yeah,
he's 39 now. He's grown up. He's not like when he was back in the day. He's done his thing. No. Yeah, exactly, and you can see it. It was like the post I put on the site, not the site, the Facebook page. Of him, the video of him being a leader, like on that the Lions game, and he was just he's trying to bring everyone together, every single one of them, and just encourage them. And he's like, that's a sign of just maturity in general.
Oh, of course it is. He's grown up, hasn't he? It's,
of course I'm sure he'll be doing the same with Haskins because he knows his time is limited. He's not going to be doing this forever.
Yeah.
So he just, he's been with the Steelers forever. So it's like,
I think this is the last go around.
I'm dreading this. I really hope that it's a full season for Ben. I hope there's an opportunity for Haskins to actually have a competitive game. Or like half a game or something like that. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I really like to see him do something in the post, in the season, to try and earn his stripes. But I really want Ben to have the best game of the season ever. He's my Steeler. He's the only quarterback I've ever known, and I'm gonna be gutted when he retires. Which I think he will do at the end of the season. I can't see any reasons why he wouldn't. I just hope that this happens.
Yeah.
Is there anything else for the off season, or do you want to? I'm just thinking the timing and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool. So I mean, for me, I think De Castro retiring sort of all of a sudden. But obviously, he had he had his issues, obviously with injury, but I didn't expect him to retire. So, but for me, I think losing Steven Nelson just all of a sudden like that.
That's like ages ago. That that's true. No,
I think it was just a bitter ending with Nelson. Like both sides had the grudges.
Yeah,
I think both sides just wanted to end it. Really, I think obviously Nelson was a great player, but it just seemed like it were a bad ending.
Yeah, something went on there in the background. I think that we don't know about. Yeah,
it's surprising as well, considering that Nelson was one of the few players that, because the Steelers are not a big off-season team. Like they're not a Jags, they're not they're not going to bring in, mass. They're very stable. They like to build through the draft, and Nelson
in that way,
and I mean very traditional, very sort of old-fashioned. But Nelson was one of the few players that they brought in from the agency on a not saying a big deal, but it was a big contract. Deal. A decent deal. So it's surprising that we just kind of let him go to that extent.
Something's happened there. I think in the background, something's happened that we don't know about. I think he probably pissed off the wrong person because, like you said, it was quite easy that he actually left. Obviously, we probably won't never know. But like I said, no, he was well pissed off when he left the Steelers.
We had the team kind of release stuff like that we're probably not going to hear about it in the news. About what exactly happened because we're not that type of organisation.
Yeah,
but I think if it was up to you to go, I don't know whether it was a decision between him or Joe Hayden.
Heads up, I've lost all sound. Can you hear me, guys?
Oh yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
If it was a decision to release him or Joe Hayden, he'd stick with Hayden just because of his leadership qualities and loyalty and how much he educates the rest of the team and everything, and helps them through. And it's Steve Nelson doesn't have that, but it's not that's no fault of his own. It's just
that Joe Hayden's been
here so long. It's mint. Hayden's mint.
Yeah.
The day that Cleveland released him was a good day.
Oh, it's a great day. That I couldn't believe what steal we got for him.
Fell to our laps. Yeah, proper fell to our laps. Yeah, that's the thing about. I mean, we spoke before about drafting corners and how the Steelers' history of drafting corners hasn't been great.
History of free agency, DBs.
It's just a shame that you lose them in free agency as well. I mean, Mike Hilton, I think, is going to be a big loss for us this year.
That was the main one. That was the main guy I didn't want to go at all. I said that.
I just think when the Bengals offer that kind of money, I don't think you can blame Kevin Colbert for not matching it. I just think that's one of those where you just got to, same with Bud Dupree, you just got to accept that, okay, the money's not worth paying it.
It's more valuable than Bud Dupree, though, in my mind.
I agree with that.
If you watch the film from it, he had such a key impact on how our defense played. You saw him blitzing from the slot, especially in the running game as well.
Yeah,
there were times where I saw he was going inside when TJ was going outside, and he just opened up gaps for Mike Hilton just to go through that gap to stop the run.
All you need to do is look at the struggles we have had at trying to find a replacement for him, and it's unfortunate because like Millett and Antoine Brooks Jr. all got injured and everything like that. But you're trying to find they're constantly trying to find that Mike Hilton, and they're so few and far between because it's such a mixed skill set.
It's an impact player. It's a great player. It's a full package.
Yeah. And you know what? My prediction for Mike Hilton, I think he's going to fizzle. I don't think he's going to be as good a player in Cincinnati as he is in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Because they're not going to utilize him properly, and because they don't have a TJ Watt where they can run a stunt, they can put Hilton in pressure. Yeah. Those two factors, I just think Cincinnati have paid a lot of money for him, but I can't trust the Cincinnati Bengals team to use him properly. I think that's going to hurt both teams.
To be able to do that kind of like skill.
You need a franchise. You need an amazing player like TJ or an amazing line like we do.
Right.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one, I think.
Cool.
I think it's reasonable, actually. What's your thoughts on this? A bit of a cop out that I do get that. I'm rapidly looking at the first team as we speak. I'm just having a because, like,
if I'm honest, I think there are still too many holes there.
Oh yeah.
I think corner. I think offensive line is going to be a big question mark. Huge
and
question
tight end behind Frymouth.
Massive. Yeah. Because you've got two very good receiving tight ends. Frymouth looks to me like he's going to be a good receiving tight end, but blocking wise, it's going to be there's big question marks there. And I just think if you can't run the ball with a 39-year-old quarterback, you've got Najee Harris, but the line
great,
has to be there.
He's been a fantastic. I've loved watching him play in the preseason. I know it's only early days. It's quite painful to say this, but I do like having a third.
I was gonna question you on that and see whether
the real number 6.
It's
the real number 6.
It's just a dick ever picking the wrong number. But
it's like we're getting excited over a punter.
It's sweet though because I want to watch him play, but you don't want him to play because you don't want to start punting the ball,
kicking the ball away.
So
it's bad when you're excited about drafting a punter. Yeah,
exactly.
I like. It's going to be interesting as well to see Pat. How are you going to play? How are you going to incorporate himself into the?
Well, they both share number 1, don't they? Him and Ebron on the depth chart. It's not a number 1 and number 2, so it's an odd one. Is that? It's like shared 50-50 kind of snaps.
Like,
maybe
that's quite interesting one. Maybe like
like 2 set kind of like.
It's the same as the
formation, something like that.
It's the same as the receivers. So they're classed Juju, Deontay, and Chase as the
but
top
Chase doesn't have
three,
anyone
basically.
behind him, doesn't it? It's
no. And then Ray and James are classed as number 2 in the second half, if you like. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
You can't really.
What's Johnson's class
and 3 receivers.
What's Johnson? Is he
out of it?
Is he number 1? Is he?
Deontay is number 1.
It's what's classed as a first team, which is Juju, Deontay, and Chase, basically.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see this. Actually, I think that if that squad, they're going to be the make or break. I've got the the list right in front of me. They're going to be the make or break because the running game. We only need a small. Looking at this here, we've got. I mean, I'm not going to mention like a certain player which we've already mentioned. Snell, Benny Snell. The running game and stuff like that. But just fucking joking. I do hope though. But you got your Harris. I like to see what doing some. I'm quite happy he actually made it into the team. I'd like to see what he does. So the fact he's made the team, they obviously see the potential. So let's see it. He's been really underused. But the wide receivers are key. You got obviously Claypool. All right. He showed he went to be all end all last year, but he did show some genuine cracking plays.
He's just massive, catching ability.
First half of the season, a lot of our players, he had a great first half of the season.
Yeah,
especially playing at Hinesfield, and it'll be exciting to see what he can do with the full capacity there. Hinesfield behind him.
But then you've got like Johnson as well. Great player. I really like him, but he's got a bit of a slippy hands. Yeah, but can he do? Yeah, can he do something about it? Because
he's done so much in the off season to like combat that.
Yeah, and I know Juju. It's difficult for me this one because like, and it's not because of his TikTok. I actually promise you, it's not. Right, last year and even the year before, I wasn't struck on Connor. As much as I liked him, a great story, nice guy, all that sort of stuff. And I'm glad he's gone. To be honest, I thought it just didn't fit the Steelers. I hope it does well. Not against us, but I hope it does well. The jury's still out for me on Juju. It can be good and it can be very good, but it can also be very shit as well.
It can also go flat cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does blow hot and cold.
Yeah, and I just think this season for him is a big season. It's got to be, because if he's going to be our number one wide receiver, he's got to show it, because I don't think he quite really showed it last. And he did actually catch more like balls last year, you know, like than everyone else. But let's be honest, here, no one else really caught anything. So the thing I'm saying is like
it's a hard yards. Really.
Yeah, and I just think he needs to actually. He's got to show that he's going to be the leader in that field.
I think he will, Phil, because he's.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
He's going to be a free agent, isn't he? He's going to try and test the market.
I was going to say that there's two big things with that. The first is that he came back, because that shows that he wants to be a Steeler, and he's not. He's happy to take maybe a bit less money.
More money as well.
Yeah, you know that. And it's a contract year.
That's a big thing. That, to be fair, though, that is definitely. I agree with that. Yeah,
and the fact that you've got a Chase Claypool who's now in his second year, and you know, look, defensive coordinators are going to have a 6-month window to scheme, work out receivers' strengths and weaknesses. Hopefully, Chase Claypool, they line him up in the Z receiver position, a flank receiver, put him out wide. Maybe Juju moves into more of the slot from time to time. And you can then actually start to scheme Juju where you can play to his strengths. I'd agree with you in terms of I wouldn't trust Juju if it was just him on his own.
Yeah,
because I think with receivers you need to have a bit of a, you know, Jerry Rice. You know,
last season with that
right.
The season after Antonio Brown.
You know, you look at some of the greatest wide receivers of all time. You look at Jerry Rice, and Jerry Rice was amazing, but you had a John Taylor beside him who could take some coverage away. Who Jerry was 100%. Exactly. Yeah. You know, you've got to have a 1-2 punch there. And I just think without Juju, if Chase Claypool is going to be the only real kind of threat, I don't know, coordinators are going to make it very simple for themselves, you know, put a safety across and just
but then
shade him the whole game.
What do you think about
then you need to like understand that there's Najee, he can catch the ball as well, so he's effectively as well. So
totally.
I'm excited to see what he can do if we need him. Is Anthony McFarland, because he's got history in Canada's scheme when he was at Maryland.
Yes, he did.
He's got, obviously, he showed it in tiny flashes last season, like maybe 1 or 2 times. But obviously that with Fickner, and you don't know what he is, completely different. I'm excited to see what he can do with Matt Canada. I would see him into whether he converts him into a slot wideout, maybe.
Yeah, that could work.
I think it could work. I mean, look at Le'Veon Bell when they put him in the slot time and time again. I know we don't talk about the offensive coordinator that did that because, you know, his name is sort of Scourge, but you got to think, you know, Le'Veon Bell's skill set. I'm not comparing a Najee Harris or a McFarland to a Le'Veon Bell yet, because Le'Veon Bell at his peak was phenomenal.
I'm not going to say his thing. You know, end of the day, right?
He was insane.
It was a bit ridiculous. But you know what? He was an absolute joy to watch. And actually, when you look at the footage of like him, Antonio Brown, and Ben just sinking together, it was just like pure poetry. Oh yeah, and the O-line, yeah.
Bell's style's so unique though, in terms of like just kind of
patient.
It's not when you look like that.
You're on edge.
The line at the time.
your patience.
But I think Najee Harris is a much better running back option now for this offense, where you can line him up in a slot receiver. You can run, flat routes, and and again, if you've got an offensive line that's a bit ropey, you've got a check down option. You've got a check with me where Ben can go, okay, they're 7-6, we're only blocking 5. Najee, get ready. Do you know what I mean? Like either you got to pick someone up or the ball's coming to you and be ready.
It used to be a receiver, so it's like you play to that kind of semi-strength as well if you want to.
He's a Nick player, so he's always going to be always all-round versatile player, rusher, blocker, receiver. He's always going to be that under Nick Saban. So he's got that to bring to the table.
Nick Saban knows how to. You look at Alabama's history of running backs, and you just think, okay, he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
It's just
it's the hurdling that worries me.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, no, we don't want any of that. No.
On your head, essentially.
Let me run down the O line. Okay, so offensive left tackle, we've got Dan Moore, a rookie.
Yep.
We've got left guard, we've got Kevin Dodson, second-year guy. Centre listed as starter is Kendrick Green, also a rookie from this year. Right guard is Trey Turner, and then we've got Chucks at right tackle. A lot of pressure on Trey Turner.
Yeah,
he's the sort of most experienced guy here. Yeah. So
I'm
what
a
your
little
thoughts
concerned about that right side.
Very inexperienced line. Yeah,
that right side now that Chooks has moved over, it is just the weak point, isn't it? It's like you wouldn't really run that way. But if you're going to run the same direction every time, it's like it's going to be. Yeah, you need to scheme it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is really where I miss a Mike Munchak. Because I just think he was he was actually the piece that when we lost him, it was a big loss.
Well, we had a very similar line from 2017 to we're either 2017 to 18 or 18 to 19. There were a massive difference you could tell when Munchak left, because it was a very similar O-line group, but it was apart from Marcus Gilbert, the right tackle who left. But they could see a clear difference after Munchak left.
Yeah. The problem is with the O-line is like when you have one person leave, they don't necessarily sometimes have to be the best person in the O-line or whatever it might be. I think when you look at like the general, when you look at the general positions, just looking here, that's probably the most important one as like a coordinated team, because like the O-line. I mean, let's be honest. If you don't have an O-line, you don't have an offense. In some respects, you know what I mean? And it's like it's such an important like position. It's probably not the most exciting.
That Cincinnati didn't go for Penny Sewell over because that would just like I said in the group earlier this thing, you can't drive a Ferrari if you don't have insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can, but you
you take a risk to do it.
Come to Oldham, mate. Come to Oldham. You'd be proper side. I'll sort you out,
Joe
mate.
Burrow.
But this is it. How many teams do that? How many teams they start out, they draft a quarterback, they'll draft the skill positions, they'll draft the sexy picks, and then they're like, okay, who's going to block for us?
Yeah, no one.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, Joe Burrow. I'm worried, and don't get me wrong. As a Steeler, I don't mind Joe Burrow, flaking out. But at the same time as that, it's good for the league when a Joe Burrow can actually play to the best of his ability. And
I just know what he did at LSU, like
100%,
like probably college's best offense in a long while.
Yeah, but I think that's where you need the offensive line to be coordinated. And I don't think that roster, that front five, is a weak front five moving forward. I just think because they haven't played. I mean, I read a stat the other day where this is the first time in history where week 1 last year is a completely different front five to week 1 this year. The projected week 1 starting five, I think. Maybe Chucks is the only one that was there before, but
Kevin Dodson as well played a bit.
Kevin Dodson, that's a massive transition for not just the front five, but then you've got Ben who's got to, how much different is it from going Ramon or Al? You've got this, you've got 2 guys coming here. Just be aware. So now you've got 2 rookies who haven't played together beyond 4 months. Who they've got to get used to the systems. They've got to get used to a new scheme. It's a huge ask,
This is why I think at the start of the season, we probably will lose a few games. I mean, I've got us down to lose the first 2, Bills and Raiders.
And we never beat the Raiders anyway, so that's fine.
But it's like,
I have got that Raiders.
Raiders. I don't know. Every year we seem to lose them, man.
in the stupidest ways.
I'm glad we were playing the Bills first.
See what we're up to.
Than say the Texans or someone, because that whole line, if you play against the Texans, you're like, oh, we had a good game, but you weren't getting tested. Like you're getting tested against a potential Super Bowl team, so it's like that. What is it that Tomlin says? The oh god,
standard is the standard.
Yeah, the adversity.
Right.
That that they're going to come up with that straight away. I would imagine. Like, I don't think we're going to win the game, and I think there's going to be a few mistakes on that O-line as a result. But you want to play against the best team from the get-go. I think that's a good thing. I think that's the one positive thing. And plus, I think I said this before off air, but at least we've got them all playing in the right positions.
Yeah, definitely.
Dan's on the left and Chooks is on the right, and it's like that. That's what it should have been all along.
I'm excited to see. I really want to see what Derek Watt does. Really want to see like position utilised. Yeah, and I want to see what Washington does. Jason, you're a big fan of Washington, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great player. I watched him before at Oklahoma as well when he was with Mason. Yeah. So I know what he can do when he's the main guy. Just got great hands, just phenomenal. It's just a shame you've got
round 3. I can't remember.
I'll have a look.
I think did we get him in round 2?
I think it was round.
Second round. Was it 60th overall? Yeah, second round. So he was kind of.
We got Terrell Edmonds in the first.
Yes. Jesus. Yeah. That's that defensive pick. Brilliant.
Yeah. He was a great player.
Another defender. We'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, before the season, we hadn't drafted an offensive player since David DeCastro in the first round.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? It's, there we go.
Yeah,
crazy.
Anyone else got any thoughts on the roster? Defense?
With defense, for me, it's like sorry, Jason, go on.
No, carry on.
We've got 6 bloody inside linebackers. It's like on the roster.
DBs.
The thing is, I'm pretty much understanding that Kyle Joseph, the safety, is going to get elevated, and UG3 is going after that, for the swap. Because I don't understand why UG3 is still there. I really don't. It's such an odd.
Nobody does.
But I the only thing I can think of is that
backup.
There's an insurance. Yeah, it's the backup. It's the insurance policy. They were so scared of what happened last season. That we just want all the inside linebackers. We just want them all.
Because Spillane and Bush went down. So
down.
And actually,
that was our big loss last year. Was that sort of set the tone for the totally.
The thing is, it is off air. We were saying like literally, the defense just ran out of steam. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL, and everyone said that. And that's quite rare. Even like non-Steelers fans were like,
there were no doubts about the defense. It was the
exactly. And I think the very obvious thing that what the consequence of that is because they literally carried the Steelers last year. So because of that, they ran out of. There's nothing else they could do. I were angry when he had a bad game because, end of the day, the human and his own self. End of the day, it's like that's when the offense should be stepping up, and they didn't. And I think the fact you've got 6 of reason that I think they're being cautious, but actually that's still. At the end of the day, we've made some moves in the offense, for the future, and I'm actually quite positive about this. I think you've got quite a relatively young. You've got a good mix there between veterans, and you've got new starters, young people just finding their feet and stuff like that. I think the offense is going to improve, and especially with the quarterback situation, hopefully, I'm not too worried about that. But the issue you've got is you also don't want to just waste what we've got in the defense.
Yeah,
that's the key. We made some major cock-ups in the last few years where we probably have one of the best offenses in the league when you have like the killer bee. It was sick.
Giving up 45
one or the
points
other with us.
It's ridiculous, wasn't it? But you lose it all again because the defense couldn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I don't want to be in that situation again where it's like, you know, you might only get 1 point. I don't know how that's even possible, but like, you know, in the offense. but
get like a 1 point safety.
Yeah, why not?
1 point safety, yeah, why not?
Yeah. They'll feel sorry for us. They'll just feel sorry for our going, you can have that point. Go on.
Yeah.
And it's Buffalo Bills 400 and the Pittsburgh Steelers 1. but the point I'm saying is like, you need to have that. You need to have that that consistency. You've got depth. That's the key, because I think that's where we.
That's the NFL is next man up, you know. And if one goes down, you know, if a Devin Bush goes down, or, you know, obviously again, touch wood, it doesn't happen, but you need to know. That's why the Patriots were so successful for so many years. They had injuries, they had the next guy come up, and it almost felt like there was no sort of drop off, you know. Whereas the Steelers, they had that 11 great first 11 weeks, and it felt like we were on a roll, and then just injuries you know, piled up, and by the end you had a defense which it was a shell of itself, you know.
It's a hard one to estimate like what the defense is going to be like, because there's so many unknowns. One of the main ones for me is like Joe Schobert, how he's going to work.
I like that signing. I like him.
In principle, I think it's like very good communicator, and it means
how's it going to fit though? How's it going to fit like within the whole framework?
Devin Bush can be an athlete, what he's used to, and not have to worry about being, you know, the green dot guy. But how that's actually going to work, and I don't know whether it's
after Spillane's preseason, I'm just happy for Joe Schobert to be in there. To be honest,
True.
So I know we got lined up against receivers as it happened last year, but I'm happy for Joe to be in, and it's him being a starter as well. Just shows, I think he's made good progress really with the scheme and everything. So that's good for me. Good for me.
Love Spillane as well.
Most surprising thing for me, they've got Cameron Sutton starting at right cornerback. Discuss.
Discuss. Yeah,
that one becomes like the corners. Like, apart from Hayden, we haven't. They're all like perennial career backups. Like Cameron Sutton, we've got who else?
So we've got Achilleo Witherspoon.
We just signed Witherspoon.
Justin Lane. You worry about a team like a Buffalo might be the worst team to start off with, because it is going to be a wide open spread offense. It's going to have stretches the field, a lot of wide outs, you know, where you're going to have to be in sort of nickel formations, and
that's where Fitzpatrick though comes in.
Yeah, that's very true,
because that's where he's shit up
nickel.
Yeah.
But Phil, it's like once he goes down, if he ever does, touch wood, he doesn't.
I'd say that.
Shut up.
That's the thing. It's like
no, you're right. Can you imagine like the first ring into Buffalo? You've got him and what go down. You'd be like, for God's sake. And it's like that. I'll just here's my coat.
we went through this 2 years ago when Ben did his arm and needed Tommy John surgery.
You know what?
It just felt like the season was nuked before it even started. Do you know what I mean?
You know what, though? That's the best season. That's one of the best seasons I've ever watched. I absolutely love that. And it weren't just because of the dog. I just love the fact that literally like at one point we actually had an entire team that were not like
not the first choice.
They're not the first choice, and I still managed to win.
It felt more fun because the pressure was off.
Oh yeah,
Tomlin is a great coach, because it showed
that was the Tomlin season, wasn't it?
Yes, that was
pure Tomlin. That was absolute strategy, everything. I absolutely loved that season, and it was painful to watch, and it was stressful to watch every single game. I'm sure I was like pretty much now moved to alcoholism. You know what I mean? But it was just such that season to me was Steelers football throughout, because like I tell you something, there's not many teams that could have fallen apart. I mean, let's be honest, if it had been any other team, they might have won 1 or 2 games. We absolutely killed it. I mean, considering we got further than we ever thought we were going to ever get, never going to get in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
We didn't still with the chance of making the playoffs until the last game of the season. Results.
But I was never more proud of my team at the end of that season than I've ever been We played absolutely mint, considering everything against the odds. We smashed it.
Yeah. We had playoff runs where I felt less proud than that season. Where anyone who ever says anyone who ever says Mike Tomlin isn't a good head coach, show them Devlin, show them Mason Rudolph. Yeah, we went 8-8 with that roster. It's phenomenal. But that's why, like, Cameron Sutton, I am a bit concerned about that corner depth. But I don't know. There's a part of me that just thinks, well, if we were that worried about it,
trust the process.
Trust the process. Yeah, you've got Colbert, you've got Tomlin. They know what they're doing. I think.
Or if anyone's an Arsenal fan listening.
No, thankfully not. I'm stuck in League One, to be honest, where I'm at. So I'm all right.
They consider Sutton the Swiss Army man, though, don't they?
Yeah, and it's all outside. So yeah.
So we'll see. I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
But that is the worry.
Okay. All right.
Is the secondary.
All right. Should we move on?
Yeah, I'm good. Everyone else? Yeah, all good.
Okay. Cool.
Roll.
Okay. So this is the last part anyway. So it's just like predictions for the season from a Steelers point of view. I went through the roster. I went through the schedule. Obviously, it's one of the hardest ones going this year.
Very hard.
I've done the
pundits can't make that excuse if we do well this season that we had an easy schedule.
Exactly. So let me run through it. So obviously we're at Buffalo on Sunday. Then we've got the Raiders, followed by the Bengals. Then we've got Green Bay away. Then we've got Denver and Seattle at home. Then we've got a bye week, followed up by a lovely trip to Cleveland. And then we've got Chicago and Detroit at home, followed by a trip to LA because we're great at traveling. And then we're at Cincinnati and Baltimore. Then we're at
Rams or
Minnesota, and then
Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah. And then the final month is a killer. We've got Tennessee at Kansas City, and then obviously the Browns and Baltimore to finish. So,
so many things concern me about that.
Yeah, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I have picked like
keep the faith up.
Yeah, I've gone 9-8.
You know what?
Yeah, I was going to go with
9-8. Similar lines.
I've gone 9-8.
I've gone for 10-7.
It's just when we nick it playoffs.
Phil's gone for 17. No, I don't know what you guys are worried about. We're going to go undefeated.
But you also think Buck's a good player.
You're like, well, stupid. Yeah.
17-0 Steelers. Yeah. There you go.
Right. Let's put it this way. Yeah. Dragonflies. Yeah. Dragonflies. Okay.
Oh God.
Where's this going?
You can learn a lot from a dragonfly.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. How long does a dragonfly live for? Anyone know?
17 weeks.
No.
Okay, Callum.
I'm about 2 months.
All right. Anyone else?
I don't think they live like a mayfly, like a couple of days.
Weeks.
All right. Do you want to tell you?
Yeah.
Average 24 hours. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a sad-looking dragonfly? Yeah.
They're always going towards the line.
They're all flapping around and stuff like this. Yeah. And the thing is, yeah, in that 24 hours, that dragonfly is going to live his best life ever. I mean, literally, he's got 24 hours. He's going to get laid.
You planned this, Phil.
Yeah. He's going to get laid, right? It's going to be like, got to have kids. I've got 24 hours. You do. And stuff like that. It's going to be in the bush.
You can tell Phil's
because you know what I mean?
Oh, you'll do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want?
Going off on random.
Honestly, here's what we need to do. We need to clip that, which we're doing. We need to get it to Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin ASAP. Saturday night in the hotel. This is what the Steelers will be listening to. This is their motivation before they go to bed.
Standard, right?
You be a dragonfly. Don't be a knob, be a dragonfly.
Yeah.
And it's true because, like, I'm telling you, like, when you think they've got to do everything, they've got to be a sociable, they've got to meet all the little dragonflies, have a pint, have a quick chat with all like and stuff like that, get laid, do everything, have kids and all that sort of stuff, and then they die, right? But they're happy. It's like, all right.
Dragonflies on 3, boys. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But the point I'm saying is, back to Steelers this year. Yeah, we're dragonflies. Okay.
Team Dragonflies. Okay.
Yeah. It's Ben's last year, right? We know it's going to happen. It's Ben last year, right? I think. This is my prediction, right? We've got 17 games going on. I actually think, realistically, we are going to win one. I'm only joking. Yeah, sorry,
one and 16.
Yeah. No, I actually think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 13 games.
I think it's a tough. I mean,
that's pessimistic compared to last season.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, but have you seen our season? Have you seen who we're playing? Like realistically, we're going to beat Green Bay, not Green Day.
We'll beat Green Day.
Definitely beat Green Day.
We'll definitely beat Green Day.
Yeah.
We're also going to beat.
There's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Careful, Philip. You got to be careful because we play Green Day after September ends, so that's when they're really dangerous. That's how straight out of your book, isn't it?
You know what? I think it's genius, mate, to be honest.
We got Metallica last game of the season.
Yeah.
But looking at that though, like Ravens, right? That last game might not actually mean anything.
Might not.
Might not. It may do.
One game.
Yeah. But you're looking. Yeah, of course it will. Always Ravens want to beat the shit out of them. But the thing is, it's like I do. There's some games there that we should lose, but I think we might actually win. Packers, I think we could do that one.
There's always a shock win, like we won't beat Patriots in 2018.
Well, but Bakhtiari is not going to be well, is he? Still.
Yeah, I think he's still recovering from his injury. I think he will still be by the time we play him.
Bakhtiari was out with the playoff game that they had against. It was Tampa when they got knocked out.
Tampa
was
in
a
the
big
championship.
piece of like there was missing.
Huge loss for them.
It was a huge loss. So
yeah,
massive.
That's
Seahawks.
Seahawks are beatable. Yeah. I mean, the thing is that
we can beat them. Yeah. I'm telling you, we can.
The weird thing is about NFL schedules. I find is the first couple of weeks. We're saying the Buffalo Bills are, they made the championship game last year. Josh Allen on a big contract. Week 1 is a funny week, and you're going to get some results that are going to
all sorts
rustiness.
Exactly. You never know. Week 1 is always a funny one where you always overreact on the Monday because people go, oh my god, whatever. It'll never be that for the whole 17 weeks. The one thing that does concern me, apart from the final 6 games where we're like playing 5 playoff teams from last year, which is disgusting, is the bye week. How early it is.
I hate the bye week. I hate the bye week. The bye week. Maybe it should come you to Ben. I despise bye week because like Ben's shit when he comes back off a bye week. Now, granted, that's all we've ever really known, and the next game, if you look at like all the other games, like for the last few seasons or whatever, we've always lost a bye week, or like we've almost lost a bye week.
The Browns, isn't it at the Browns then after the bye week?
Yeah, at the Browns, the first game back, Halloween.
Yeah, it's scary. I don't like the bye. I agree with you there about the bye week completely. It's an awful situation. Personally, it's just been a little like no bad. I don't think they should have any bye weeks whatsoever. I think just play all through.
Bronco Nagurski didn't have to do no bye weeks.
Or just everyone have a bye week, like week 10 or something.
Just have a week off. The NFL won't do that. No.
It's usually from 7. Last year was a bit difficult because I think we had like week 4?
Tennessee
we had a really early
massively
in fourth time.
It weren't scheduled that though. I understand it's like an abnormality, but you're not going to get that this year at all. So basically, that bye week we know we're going to get from that time. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that actually plays out, especially because Ben's horrible for rust. It's horrible when that's going to be a difficult. That's going to be the game that I'm thinking to myself. It might be quite a tough one. That's one that I'm actually doubting we're going to win, to be honest, because it's not quite positive from that side.
Yeah, Cleveland away.
But then after then you've got the Bears,
even
the
when
Lions.
they were down.
After then you've got the Bears, the Lions, and then Chargers away.
I think we'll beat the Chargers.
I think that's like the three. That could be a 3-win run potentially. I don't know, but like Chargers at home.
Yeah,
it's West Coast.
But you have to. I think you have to be in a situation in December where you're at least 500 or above 500 because I just don't see us.
Yeah.
Those last 6 games are horrible. You got Baltimore, Minnesota. Minnesota's fine, but then you got Tennessee, Kansas, Cleveland, and Baltimore. I mean, that is a disgusting.
We haven't been great at the end of the season.
Bring a few shocks. They're still a good team. They're just having a down time. That every team has that period.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know what's interesting though? We're saying this right. The Steelers have got the hardest schedule based on last year.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that means shit.
Yeah.
Because
every team's different.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember the exact season, but it wasn't that long ago. Didn't the Chiefs have an absolutely ridiculously good season? And then I can't remember what season it was.
I think they went 13-3. Then they went 5-11.
Yeah. But they actually didn't win for literally 6 games or something stupid like that. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the point I'm saying is one season to the other is completely irrelevant in some respect because actually, sometimes you might only need a quarterback to click all the places together and stuff like that, or you might need, it's whatever is needed.
Well, how many people
click.
this time last year were looking at Tampa Bay going, "Oh, Tampa Bay are going to be a Super Bowl contender"? No. I mean, Tampa Bay were.
And last when Brady went to Tampa Bay,
this time last year,
playing that kid. You know what I mean?
This time last year, everyone was looking at Tampa Bay as being like an Arizona or whatever. Brady's just getting a paycheck, retirement home, and they were phenomenal last year.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can never predict it.
These strength of schedules are always based on the previous season, and so many things change. And look at, for example, the Ravens, they don't really have a run game anymore, really, other than
I don't know. I'm a bit nervous about Ravens
Jackson. But it's he's going to be doing.
I've seen some
I don't know.
Le'Veon
Le'Veon Bell for them is a good signing. I actually really think Le'Veon Bell
Gus
for them
Edwards has just got injured, hasn't he? I think Gus Edwards has.
Gus Edwards, obviously losing J.K. Dobbins for them is huge loss for them. But I think Le'Veon Bell. I don't think Le'Veon Bell's done yet. Yeah, well, who have they got wide receiver? They've got Hollywood Brown and
they've got Rashad Bateman, who was drafted in the first, and Sammy Watkins as well.
Sammy Watkins, he's out.
The problem is when you've got what about Ravens there, when you've got a quarterback who can basically run, you don't really need a running game in that respect. But I think that they're going to have to because the issue is as soon as he gets injured, which he's going to because you can't sustain that. You can't be a quarterback and you can and do them sort of yards and day in day out.
Michael
Vick,
they all got injured in one point of the season.
And that's it. Then the team's finished. Because if the whole your running backs and everything else is all based on a single one, that's what it's going to be.
They're just
we've always had good players. We've always had good games against Lamar. We've always been able to quieten him.
Yeah.
The key with Baltimore is when they get a lead, forget it, because they've got such a good ground and pound game that they beat you down. They beat you. When Lamar has to actually play quarterback, that sounds rude, but when he has to, throw in the pocket,
I don't like him.
No, I don't think he's elite at that. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's beatable. And that's kind of.
I don't think he's elite.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a one-trick pony.
As a passer, when he's just walking like that down the middle.
Yeah,
he's got Mark Andrews. He's got running backs who can get out in space in the middle, but he ain't got the arm strength or really the accuracy or really the weapons even to look outside that. So just to scan the field outside of his just front on vision.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think when you look at I know he's past his prime now and stuff like that, but when you look at like the likes of like Aaron Rodgers, for example, he could literally change the game on his own. Like the quarterback's better because he had that intelligence, the accuracy. This is obviously quarterback level, you know, and he could move them forward, do quick plays, stuff like that. He had the whole package, especially in his prime. He's absolutely, you know, I really rate Rodgers. I think
like Hail Marys he threw.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But I can't say that with him. I don't think it's basically like he was running. You know, it could run. It could run quick. Yeah, it could run quick, and that's it. So it's like sometimes he can't be bothered throwing, so he just leg it.
Tell you
what, but all you need is one person to crop him, and that's it. Down with action.
The strangest. Sorry.
Tyler Huntley, the backup quarterback, he had a good preseason. So he's
he did. Yeah.
And, you know, I think he could push, like, Lamar to, like, you know, like he had a bit more about him, I thought. Like, I know they were playing, it's preseason and you're playing backups and this and the other, but, you know, he had some.
You know, the weirdest thing, though, about all this, putting it back to the Steelers, sort of in a lucid way, is the fact that we're talking about the Ravens, and a lot of the sort of pundits and analysts have been saying the Ravens might only just scrape through on the 7th seed. And it's the same with the Steelers, and it's the same with the AFC at the minute is so stacked. It's I've never known a conference.
Miami missed it on 10-6, which compared to
there'll be
the NFC. Chicago made it on 8-8.
Yeah, 8 crazy. There'll be teams this year that will go. This is why I'm a bit worried about the Steelers, where their record we're predicting maybe 10-7, maybe 11-6. I think there'll be at least one 11-6 team that won't make it. That's how stacked this conference is.
This is it.
It's crazy.
Massively. But actually, the AFC North, though, is actually a fucking tough division.
Yeah, really tough.
I mean, I think
really tough. Now.
Never underestimate. Like, I agree with what you're saying. Like about Dylan being stat. I totally understand that. But actually, when you actually look at it, you've got the Browns, right, who are on one at the moment. You've got Ravens, who, you know, they're not a shit team, are they?
No, there's no doubt in that.
You know what I mean?
Still really good.
Yeah, and the Steelers are actually. I'm telling you this right now. Yeah.
Dragonflies, bear with me. Right, dragonflies,
Dragonflies. The Steelers, right? I don't think they're actually as bad a team as they're being predicted to be. I'm actually confident that, like I said, I was on about a dragonfly thing, but which I stand by. But the thing is we have got all the positions in place, and the thing is, I don't think that people know that yet.
No, I don't think we do either. I think there's an unknown. There's definitely an unknown.
You heard it here.
There is an unknown. And
you heard it here from a fellow in Oldham. Yeah, you heard it here from a fellow in Oldham. I'm telling you right now. I think you've got some. The key is the big key, massive key right now is how our O-line does.
Yeah.
That is but if we've got no O-line, right, that's it. Season's over. If we can get a half decent O-line, we're going to do well, because
I think we can score points on teams. You know, if that's
I love that. If we score points, we're all right.
I think maybe proper 20 points we win.
I reckon we could stack them if we've got everything. We've got so many weapons on offense that the defense just needs to be, you know. I mean, it's been the strength of our team for so long, but all it needs to be is just manageable. But that's the potential, though, isn't it?
Really, and you only really need to be top 15, really, in either. So I think the benchmark is about 17 to 20 points. If you get that, I think you've got a good chance of winning with the defense.
For the majority of NFL teams, I think what you don't want to do is be in a situation where you have the 2-minute drills and you need a touchdown to tie the game or win the game or whatever. I don't think we're kind of ready for that yet. No. I don't think we're built for that. The other thing about our team at the moment in terms of our final roster and our prediction is the TJ Watt situation going to bleed into the regular season? is it going to affect the team morale in the locker room? Is it going to?
No, you know what? I don't think it will. I don't think it will.
Yeah, they will.
I think TJ's not the guy to do that.
I don't think. I don't think TJ will. But I mean, Cam Hayward was on the. I don't know where he was. He was on quoted as saying pay him. Obviously,
said something.
Ben has been massively vocal about it. They all want to see him get paid, and I'm just a bit like, I don't want to see the Steelers shoot themselves in the foot by playing a bit of Belichick ball and being tough on negotiations and stuff. And really, we all know TJ deserves the contract. We want him to stay as a Steeler. Is that going to impact the morale around the rest of the team? Not TJ. I don't think it'll affect TJ because I think TJ is the most professional athlete we have. I mean, I'm not, but I just that is a concern. Is that going to affect other players?
The rumor is that the 5-year contract in place. I appreciate the guaranteed money is it's nothing official.
It's only up to 1 year.
Yeah, that's they'll only pay us 1 year.
I believe that might have changed, but obviously, because as you just said, then even the players are stuck up and said, "Look, you're taking the piss." Basically, it's probably the best player, and if not one of the best players in the NFL. And
certainly the best. Yeah. Certainly the best edge rusher in the NFL. I mean, you take Aaron Donald out, he's the best defender in the league. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's insane.
He's one of those players where you just think
it's a once in a lifetime.
It's not negotiable. Just pay the man. You know, I don't get it.
Generation. I genuinely think he could be better than his brother.
Oh, completely.
Because his brother only had half a career. If I'm honest,
I think he's a very similar player to how Lawrence Taylor was in his prime, as in how he can revolutionize the game through the outside linebacker position. How they scheme to stop him from outside linebacker. You see times where the trip. I think it was against Cleveland. They were triple teaming him.
Yeah.
Still getting there.
This is it. It's still
actually, you kind of want that though, because you always want people to be triple teamed, because then
it opens up for the tackles.
Opens up everybody else.
Exactly. And that's brilliant as well, because at the end of the day, if everyone's marking what,
well, that's probably why Hilton was so effective.
Yeah,
Hilton was effective. Buddy Bree, Alex Highsmith.
Yeah.
If you put Spillane in a blitz, or you want to have Schobert blitz, or whoever, Cam Hayward. If you want to blitz,
season in terms of sacks.
Even if you want to blitz if you want to put Fitzpatrick on a blitz, all of that, TJ Watt can take so much pressure away from him and just make that.
Yeah,
he is a game changer. He's a game wrecker.
Oh yeah, and that's why we've got to retain him. But
can't let him go to another team. No way.
Now it'd be a virus.
Cam Hayward that took ages. If you remember last season, Cam Hayward's contract took ages to.
Yeah, but I love Hayward. Hayward's Steelers.
Oh yeah,
he'll never. I can't see, and I think
it didn't.
That
have the same it didn't have the same media kind of coverage though, I suppose.
It's Cam Hayward is an understated defensive tackle. Whereas a player like TJ, obviously, is one of the best. Well, he's the best player in his position. Is going to get the media attention through a situation like he's in.
But it was a similar situation, similar timings as well. I'm sure it was on the 11th hour with Cam.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss him.
By the way, in the absence, I just need to let you all know that. 1 second, what was it? What you said?
The Dragonflies died.
Unfortunately, it's dead now.
24 hours.
It's dead now. Lee has said that the
the
North winner is the Browns. Thoughts?
I'd probably agree with him. I think I'd probably agree.
I'll go with that.
They're probably the best all-round team in the division at the moment.
Yeah, they have the most complete roster for sure. I think of all the teams, there's no real weak spots other than inside linebacker.
Yeah, they've got a half decent defense, half decent offense.
Most punishing running game.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Bungles. you think they might win it?
No.
Do you think they might pop it up there and just get to number one in the AFC North?
No.
Do you think it might be the surprise? Nah.
No.
How Jamar Chase has played this.
No.
This.
Oh, was it Jamar Chase who said something? Actually, I have a quote from Jamar Chase.
The ball is bigger than the college ball, and it don't like that. There's no stripes on it.
He can't see the ball because there's no stripes on it, and so he's he's really struggling to adapt.
You're basically visually describing the ball, how it's brown, we've got laces on top.
But it's the way he just keeps on going and keeps on talking. It's like just stop, because it just sounds like an excuse, and you're just trying.
Can you imagine having that conversation? This is a view of like the coach when he's talking.
Imagine being the journalist taking that though, like
scribbling down. Okay.
I don't like. I hate. I really hated the Jamar Chase pick. I really thought that the Bengals. For me, if I'm a Bengals fan,
it would too much.
I need a
Penny Sewell.
It would take the tackle. Take the tackle. Give Burrow protection, and just
it's just Bengals, though, isn't it?
As I said before, I have a sweet spot.
Berry hearing that about the ball excuse. Like they play with literal watermelons in their time, pretty much.
Totally. I mean, I'm an LSU sort of fan. I have a bit of soft spot for him. I want Joe Burrow to do okay, even though he is a bungle. It's good for the league when players can play to their top potential.
Players with that ability, yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than seeing a potential talent wasted. I just fear that it's going to happen to Burrow. I think Burrow is going to be the next one.
It's what everyone was saying before he got his ACL knackered.
It's always going to
be. Need to protect him.
Totally. You saw some of the hits he took.
Yeah,
some of the hits he took.
Like, oh my God,
it was a horrible O-line.
And you can ruin it.
The O-line. What a...
Yeah, that's why I have no problem with rookies not starting week one. Every single time. Like, I think if you have the foundations, right, so like a Mac Jones, I think Mac Jones starts week one. Obviously, he's going to be the star week one.
Yeah,
I think that's fine. Justin Fields is. I mean, they're a playoff team.
Like the Jets have actually tried to support Zach Wilson as well by good O-line additions, good weapons additions.
And I love Robert Saleh as a coach. I think he's going. I think they'll be fine.
Brilliant.
I don't know about Trevor Lawrence, if they're going to throw him into the fire too soon in Jacksonville. I don't know.
They made a huge mistake by trading Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
that was
not drafting a huge amount of offensive line talent either, and taking a running back with the 30th pick.
Why take Travis Etienne when you need O-line help? Why not take Christine Darrisaw or something?
Head scratcher.
Who was the Jags?
Darrisaw were taken before us. So
who's the backup quarterback at the Jags now?
It is I should know this because my missus is a Jags fan.
It's not Mike Glennon anymore. He's on the Giants.
Giants are shit.
This is
Giants
will be overrated this season.
Giants are another one taking a wide receiver in the first round of the draft, and not an edge rusher.
They needed to, I think. I know they got Kenny Golladay, but
Giants are stubborn because quarterback's crap. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's just not good.
So going back to the Jags, their backup is CJ Beathard, and they've only got 2 on the roster right now.
That's scary, though, isn't it?
That's terrifying.
It's bizarre.
I've not heard any. I've not learned anything about the Steelers 2019 season. I've not mentioned it. But whereas literally you went through the entire quarterback basis, and then they got someone from the street who just became a hero to everyone. Yeah.
Does it rhyme with fuck?
I feel like we need to get. I feel like we need to get a violin out whenever we mention Duck, because I just feel like we're going to get too emotional otherwise. It's an emotional time. It was a good year. It was a great year.
I think that was my love for that third string quarterback is immense, and the thing is I know he's not that good. I'm not stupid, and stuff like that, and he'll never get a job again. But the thing is
he'll get age
Good endorsement there.
for that. For
I don't
that,
know. The XFL.
He'll get endorsements in Oldham, that's for sure.
Too much cocaine. It took it a bit mental. Them bloody ducks. But the thing is, I just love the fact that like you had a fellow who was just stuck. He just like went right. He was never expected to be in the first team. He weren't designed to be in the first team. He was never good enough to be in the first team. But the dog, it turned up, and he actually won us a game or so.
I think we need to have a whip.
Everyone's dream, that, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's what everyone always. It's like when you got your favorite. It's like when you got your favorite band, and then they invite you on stage to play guitar. Oh, I sing a song with them. That's what that fellow did, and he rocked it. You know what I mean?
Released by the what was it? When it was released by the Rams.
Yeah, he was released by the
Rams. Someone said on Twitter, like, bring him back to Steelers Depot, and Steelers Depot just went, why? Yeah. And someone just messaged back saying morale.
To do what? Yeah. We need to. I think we need to have a whip round of the group. See if Doc. Now, because obviously he's not doing a lot with his time, maybe he's on Cameo, maybe he's on one of these like shout out video sites. Maybe we can get Phil like a little sort of yeah. So I mean, get him like a little
videogram.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, get him a little videogram or something. Just be like, hi Phil, thanks for the support. Some Ducks fans out there.
Feed me. Give my family money. Okay. Just let's do the last bit because we've been rambling on for a while. I just want to get your start off with the AFC. I just want your sort of genuine sort of Super Bowl from the AFC, Super Bowl berth from the AFC, but also I want your dark horse as well that you think's going to do well that probably people aren't expecting. So
okay, that's a good one, Alan.
Should we go round?
Give me a minute. I'm just looking at the actual thing. So if you want to go first, that's cool.
Okay, I'll go first because then I can't interrupt with my stupid lagging internet. So I'm going with Buffalo as the genuine contenders.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen as he had a solid first season. He's made his mistakes, and then obviously last year he progressed really well. They've had a couple of good pass rushes as well for the draft. I think they've improved on defense. So for me, I'm going for Buffalo in AFC. Dark horses. Now, don't all shout to me at once. I've gone for the Patriots.
Right.
I think
Jones. You know what? That's an interesting one.
That probably would have been my pick as well.
If he can do the job. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think in 3-4 years, I think they're back. I think Belichick's back.
Oh, I don't think he'll take that long. I think people will be surprised. The amount of money they spent. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So they're my two.
That's a very good thought, really. Actually.
I feel compelled to take it because it would have been Patriots for my sort of wild card because I think the amount of money they spent in free agency. Mm-hmm. The return, the arrival of Mac Jones, I think they're going to be strong. But I don't know, my AFC, I think I could be really boring and pick the Chiefs. I think Tennessee as well. I think Tennessee are going to make it because I think you got Julio Jones to add to AJ Brown. I think Tannehill, he'll be strong. Derrick Henry, if he's healthy, will be a game wrecker. Defense looks strong.
Henry will get the same runs. Same yards they'll get.
Well, now they've got Julio, and now
no, I don't think they will. No, I don't think he will. But for that reason, I think with the added sort of passing element, I just think you're going to have so much more for Tannehill to strive it.
I'm really concerned about Tennessee's defense. I know they've got bugs, but their pass rush was anemic last year.
It's the one thing that let them down really in the postseason was the ability to rush.
And third down defense as well. They were last in the league. It showed against us when we played them.
Yeah,
like every third down we converted.
I think I would have said Pats, but excluding the Pats, I think the Colts will be a surprise.
Wow.
No one's picked the Colts. And
I think Carson maybe, but
they've got a lot of injuries. T.Y. Hilton,
a lot of injuries, a lot of injuries, and that's why I think a lot of people have and also Carson Wentz at this point has become a bit of a meme for
unless Jacob Eason comes ball out.
I don't get Carson Wentz's foot injury because he's had surgery and now he's running around everywhere. It's like
Quentin Nelson's out as well. Quentin Nelson's out.
They've had the same foot injury, I think, but the injury they had was kind of like they've had it since high school, and he's only now having surgery on it to kind of get it repaired.
Yeah.
But I just think if they can stay healthy as a team, I mean, they made the AFC playoffs last year. I don't think there's any reason for them not to. Plus, they've got a division excluding Tennessee that I think they could be competitive in it. You got the Jags. You should expect to beat that team twice.
Texans.
You need to, that's four. Yeah. To be honest, that's 4 wins off the bat, and it is a tough conference because you've got so many.
Very
teams
tough
there.
Conference. Yeah,
very tough conference. But I just think to not be boring, not pick a Dolphins, not pick a Pats. I just think Colts might sneak in there. There's going to be one team that we're not expecting that's going to sneak in there. I think.
I've got one.
Me too.
Well, I've got the Bills as the Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
The wild card, Broncos. I do think
I'm going with that as well.
Sorry,
good
Callum.
job.
You know what? Broncos are actually a decent team. If the quarterback's good,
just manage to get their receivers the speed with Jerry Judy
and their deep.
But their defense is just immense.
It's as good as 2015 in
like how
two words. Patrick Surtain.
Yes,
he is going to be phenomenal.
Exactly. He's like the missing Jenga piece of that. But they had so many injuries last season. With Von Miller out. Who was the
Bradley Chubb had a bad injury as well, didn't he?
Had a bad injury,
and
yeah.
The wide receiver who went out. Oh God,
Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy was fit all season.
Yeah,
Sanders had injuries as well. Was he not?
I think Sanders left a bit ago. I think he won.
Yeah, no, he might have done actually. Yeah,
Sanders is not on the Bills.
Oh, guys! TJ Watt has signed an extension.
Oh,
it's in.
Hang a minute.
There you go.
Have a look, Phil.
An exclusive.
Have a look. Exclusive. 112 million,
Cool.
80 million guaranteed. Highest paid player on the defensive side. Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, thank God.
Whilst we're filming.
Michael? All right.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
It's true, what I've heard.
Well, the standard is the standard.
Ian Rappaport.
Oh, you know Rappaport.
There we go. Some good news.
Yeah, thank God for that. Honestly, I don't even care if it is. It sounds like a lot.
I don't know whether you guys have seen this as well, but Marcus Peters has torn his ACL. The Ravens corner.
Oh, that's not.
Oh dear, he's such a nice man.
Oh yeah, I love him. Love him to death.
They've just had no look.
Genuinely, I don't like players getting hurt. No, I don't like seeing players getting hurt.
No, I'm not going to celebrate that. It's just like,
I'm not going to celebrate that. And then it's someone's job.
Exactly.
I'm not happy with that. I don't care if the rival or anything like that. I've always been against promoting for someone getting injured, unless it's an absolute dickhead. And then
I tell you what,
fuck off and die. But
the last 7 days. The last 7 days the Ravens have had, Jesus Christ, that is
awful.
That's a tough 7 days, man. You lose your starting running back, your starting corner, and another running back on top of that. That's awful, man.
I'm actually just looking at this deal here, I'm very happy with this. 4 years, average 28 million a year. That's actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, 80 million fully guaranteed.
Yeah, but that's good though, because I think that needs to be. I think I need to change this unguaranteed bollocks because
it was only going to be 50 mil, wasn't it? If it was
that was something, but and you have to remember, right?
There's a tweak there, isn't there?
Especially for someone that in his position, it's historically quite a short span because literally your job is to twat people, so you're going to get hurt. So actually, I think that's quite a decent turnaround. Really, it's go and twat someone quick, and get it done.
He's a game changer, isn't he? So
they're looking after each other, aren't they? You know what I mean? And I'm all for these guaranteed. I think that's a big issue, which is hindered in some respects the NFL. When you look at like, and to be fair, the NFL players have said the same thing. Look at the NBA, Like when you look at like the NFL, it's the biggest sport in America. It earns the most, money. It's got the most broadcasting rights. It's got the most viewership. It's got the most sponsorship. It's got everything, and yet the NBA beats it. How? But it's got a worldwide presence, which has got this guaranteed money thing is bollocks. It's just not heard about whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, in a day, right? It's ridiculous the amount of money that all these players are on. When you look at like stuff like, you're looking like what nurses are on and stuff. And not to get political, and I'm not, but like that's the going rate for that particular sport or whatever it might be, and it's a lot of money. But they are playing for a short period of their life. Exactly. So, and as justifies it not for the amount of money, you have to always understand that certain positions, especially in NFL, they're going to be shorter than other positions. For example, quarterbacks and stuff like that. And I think it's a right decision. This definitely, for this kind of money, I think it's crucial. I really do. It shows that Steelers are open for business, basically, because this is unusual for the Steelers to have that much guaranteed money for someone in his position.
Did you see Gus Edwards as well as out?
Yeah.
We already clicked bloody hell.
That were a bit early, yeah.
It was just Marcus Peters.
He's out for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's before they've played a snap of competitive football. They've already lost 3.
What's their pitch made out of? Concrete?
Well, there's always one team every season that's riddled by injuries. 2019 it was. Last season it were 49ers. This season, Baltimore.
And the whole thing with the Giants stadium, wasn't it? With Saquon Barkley and going out with ACL injuries.
And you know what? Just to be like David Daggerford, that in 2019, I got a massive amount of respect for Baltimore because they were always the first team that went, I'm sorry. When everyone got injured and stuff like that, they're the first team that tweeted and stuff like that. They were the first because end of the day, me and Jason have said this before, in the past and stuff like that. You've got rivals and you've got respect.
Yeah.
Baltimore definitely respect.
Oh yeah, Baltimore, biggest respect. I've always had a massive respect for Baltimore. I hate them and I really want to beat them, and I don't ever want them to win anything. But as people, I respect them big time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's like they respect us, and also when we play football together, it's a fucking good game.
Rivalry. It's a rivalry. It's one of the. To me, it's. I know it sounds biased.
It's one of the best.
But it is maybe it doesn't have the history of a Giants Eagles. Maybe it doesn't have the. Maybe it doesn't have the sort of the Raiders Chiefs of the past. But
Christmas Day a few years back. Christmas Day. Absolutely.
We played them 3 times. All 3 were amazing games.
Totally. And it just makes the league better when both teams are competitive and both teams have full strength rosters.
Not dirty. Not playing dirty. Just playing football. Don't give me a question. Give me a question. Of course there is.
Totally, and you're not going to win every time. But that's the point. And it's what makes those rivalries. Obviously that week is a really difficult week. You have to get really riled up for that week. But it just makes the league as a whole so much better. You
always look forward to if it's like a 6 o'clock game, you always look forward to watching it. And then obviously 9 o'clock game, you're waiting all day to watch it, and then
and it's normally always 1 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're
like a late season game. It's always a prime time game.
Oh, that's it.
That's the thing. Like that. Like last year, we played them at the home game we played there where Lamar Jackson was out for COVID. They started RG3.
And then they went in with Yeah,
it was like on a Thursday night, or it wasn't even Thursday night. It was a weekday afternoon.
It's supposed to be 6 o'clock on the Sunday. I mean, it just got it just went completely tits up. And it's just like, and they should have just forfeited or something because it's just been dicks.
They had so much COVID, and we beat them. But I just thought, this is not. I don't feel
so much COVID.
Right.
You had so much COVID, you shit.
Didn't like it. It wasn't a nice.
Who do you think you are?
It's just it wasn't. It was a hollow victory, that one. Just you beat the Ravens, but you beat like. Do you know what I mean? It's totally. No, man. That's good. I mean, TJ signing is huge.
No, it's fantastic.
Great news.
That is genuinely. But I also think it's actually good for like the team as well, because like clearly the team want to get that behind. That they wanted TJ to have that make a deal, because obviously they feel like he's worth it. So the fact that the team have obviously as in the Steelers organisation have obviously said, let's go for it. Let's. I mean, that's a mega deal. That 80 million guaranteed. I mean, Jesus Christ. Give me $1 million guaranteed. I'll be happy. I'll do that shit. You know what I mean? So
I'd run into the sea gap.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, how they've switched stuff.
I'd play unpadded if I got $1 million guaranteed.
I would have paid for
it. No thanks. But no, I mean, when you look at teams in the past, even the modern past, like I'm thinking when Kirk Cousins and the redacted. I was going to say the word, then I won't. When they were that name and they were negotiating, and Allen and Dan Snyder weren't paying up, and it just I thought that was a team that could have made a Super Bowl run, but they were so caught up in their own politics and their own negotiations. I just think it let them, the team around them were affected. You can go back to the 90s when Emmitt Smith held out for a deal, and they won the Super Bowl, but that's only after they went 0-2 without him. I'm not saying TJ would have missed time, but I just think if you lose against Buffalo at the weekend, how much of that is going to be on the general management? How much of that is going to be on the ownership, where you've not paid TJ the money? That's just going to add fuel to all the critics' fire. It's going to bring more noise, unnecessary noise. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it's down to TJ though if we lose that game.
No, it's not. No. But the media are stupid. They're going to be sort of on the blower asking, Well, yeah. So they're going to be they're going to be around every other locker room, and they're going to be asking, how much of this is down to the TJ deal? Is it a distraction? Blah blah blah. And it's just we don't need the noise. We don't need the noise, and TJ is not. I fear that a lot of fans, and this is nothing against the American fans of Pittsburgh, but there are a lot of overreactionary fans. I think the experiences we've had with Le'Veon and with Antonio Brown has sort of played into this negotiation as well to an extent. People don't want to see someone getting paid, because the last time we paid a player big money, they screwed us over. But TJ's not like that. He's not one of those kind of guys. He's a totally different player, different person.
That's very interesting, actually.
It just shows his mentality of going back to the team, playing with the team before the deal was done, or maybe the deal was done, but it's they've staggered it, until releasing it now, to the public. Who knows, But
actually, when you think about that with Antonio Brown, looking back now, from what we now know about him, when you think about the contract negotiations that were going on at the time on Brown and stuff like that, can you remember any actual players sticking up for him?
No.
I remember players being happy that he got the deal.
Yeah,
but there was not. There wasn't
pushing to make a deal. You know what I mean? They are now.
No.
And that just shows a difference. Hopefully in the character. So that's quite reassuring, actually.
He's more of a team player.
I mean, no one was there when Le'Veon was holding out in 2018. Nobody was no one was at the media going, "Yeah, we need Bell here now. We need to pay him."
All linemen actually criticised him, didn't they? I think
exactly. because the O line probably thought they were as responsible for Bell's production.
Of course they were, because like they gave Ben that like
how many Pro Bowlers come from that?
Look at Bell, like, for example, now.
Massive.
Look at Bell now. He's done for Carlton to left Steelers.
Well, I mean, I would argue some of that is Adam Gase as well.
They didn't show really much in Kansas City.
Well, there wasn't enough time. I don't think he had. Enough opportunity.
Yeah, but at the same time as Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown probably had much as Antonio Brown had in Tampa.
True.
You know what? I agree with that completely, Callum.
Yeah,
I think that's very interesting to say that, because they're both. I think Brown is a more diverse character in this. Like so we've seen like in the public.
He's a character, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely no doubt in that.
That's one way to describe him.
Yeah, but like actually, what do we actually know? Because like the thing is we know that like for example, like Brown went to the Raiders, but he didn't actually play a game, did he? You know,
he played a few preseason games, but that were
and looked amazing when he was there.
Yeah, but he played up a lot,
and he played one game in New England.
Yeah, looked great there.
Yeah, the point is, though, it made that impression.
Yeah,
because actually, it was Brady who basically get the heads up. So I say, sign him. Yeah, get Tampa, and you know what? Fair play to him in that respect. So I don't know if it's something that we know or don't know and stuff like that. But like, you never really got that with Bell, even though I actually had a bit of sympathy for Bell when he left the Steelers, because like. I understand that people want to earn a bit of money for themselves. Like the reason I was saying before, about like end of the day, especially in like that sort of position, is quite a short.
It's a business.
It's famous that the false cliff at 30. Obviously, there's some guys that disprove that, like Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore, but obviously then. But yeah, it's famous. Yeah, like you drop off at 30.
Generally speaking, that's a rule, isn't it? Like 30 is the cut off point and stuff like that. So you want to earn your money. Especially when you think like I've seen a lot of programs recently where it's not to go off the cuff, but like these kids, they're starting at like 10.
Yeah.
And so that's just part of the job from 10 onwards and stuff like that. Up until 30, that's a fucking long time in professional sport.
Yeah,
even though you're not literally getting paid for like years because like you're in like school or college or whatever it might be. And then so like really when your only chance is when you get to the NFL, and then you're going to try and make your money back. So I've had a lot of respect for Bell from that side.
I mean, and Bell was, but when Bell was at his best, and when that 2017 season, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but Bell must have touched the ball at least 400 times.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Because it wasn't just
wasn't it?
Todd Haley was a nightmare for Bell, because it was a case of, not only are we going to run you like 25, 30 times a game, but we're also going to put you in wide out positions. We're going to give you at least 5 catches.
Smashed it.
I don't blame Bell in a way for being like, look, pay me. I don't really blame him for that.
It was a second string wide receiver. And he's a first string fucking.
But I also
hang on a minute.
I don't blame the Steelers for being like, no, we can't give a running back, because their big at the time. It was like, okay, who's the best teams in the NFL? Patriots. Teams like that, the Chiefs. Maybe look at those. You look at all the best teams in the NFL. How many of those teams have a cowbell? How many of those teams have a legit 35, 40 down back?
Yeah.
None. They don't work. McCaffrey can earn all the money he wants, but you know what I mean? He's not going to get you a Super Bowl on his own. But you need the pieces around.
The thing is,
especially not in today's NFL.
You need the pieces.
That's why
he gets hurt. And Le'Veon Bell was not. He had injuries as well. I think he had at least 2 torn ACLs. As well, if I remember, he had one in the playoffs and then one against the Bengals as well.
But interestingly, he did recover quite quickly. Although saying that though, when he gets older, he's obviously going to. It's like anything he gets, right? Yeah, of course it is. So that's going to be quite. It's a shame, really, because I would have liked to see him. Basically, I reckon he had a proper. if he'd been there for another couple of seasons,
2018, it would have made a. I think 2018 was our year that we really just
we faded, didn't it? For that reason,
would have made a big difference that year.
Yeah, and same with like Brown as well, because like the thing is, you know what? I'm just thinking now. Who went first? Was it Bell or Brown?
Bell went first.
Bell held out.
Bell went first, but
they went at the same time. They went at the same time.
Yeah, they're pretty much
Bell held out.
It started that like Betterman, didn't it? It's kind of like, oh, if you can do that, I can do that, and stuff like that. And it just happened, and then it's like that was it. Then that's in effect that offence. Where going back to what we were saying before about this roster, potentially we've got a huge amount of strength here. It's quite young, so I think if we can just like play our cards right, I don't think it's going to happen this year. It's going to be interesting to see the transition now. I think the key now is I think we've got the defence in place for at least a couple of years anyway. It depends what's going to happen now, but I do also think that even the offence, we've got like the various bits in place. We've already discussed the offensive line and stuff like that. I think the key now is how the quarterback situation. I've said this on the UK Steelers Facebook site. That is the absolute key to what happens now in the next few years, because like ultimately, I'm probably clutching straws here, but if Haskins works, we will win the Super Bowl in the next 2 years.
Well, and also what you're concerned about is obviously what a lot of you, the older fans have experienced when we lost one franchise quarterback in Bradshaw.
Yeah,
when he retired, when you had so long without a true franchise quarterback up until 2004.
I mean, you look at Mark Malone, and I'm trying to think of the Super Bowl 30. I'm so sorry, my mind is going.
Is it O'Donnell?
O'Donnell, that's it.
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart. Yeah, it's a you're not.
It's not easy. It's not easy to get the quarterbacks that like lead a team.
Where you get teams like the Green Bay Packers, their fans, they haven't had that experience for at least 25 years because they went straight from Favre to Rodgers. You look at teams like
that's brilliant, isn't it?
I mean, it's stupid, it's crazy. It is a dream, but how often does that happen? How often do you go from one franchise quarterback to another? So
it's interesting, like what Jason said about the Patriots. Just saying about like thinking that they could be like a wild card, and I get that. I don't think they're quite there yet, but I don't think they're also like I don't think they're that far off. And I think again it's a key about like the quarterback, how they can do it and stuff like that. So I think that's also relevant to the Steelers as well. Literally, our entire future is on Haskins. Because like if we have to find another quarterback, because you have to remember, we actually traded up to get like Rudolph.
We
if you think about it and stuff like that, it just shows that we thought we had a lot of potential in Rudolph, and actually it's not bad as a number 2, but it's not. It's definitely not like He's not number 1. Absolutely. And and you know what? I'd be happy with him being a backup. It'd be useful to have stuff like that. Yeah. But that is the key to our future now.
Yeah. There's definitely sort of a draft purgatory when it comes to quarterbacks. If you're drafting quarterbacks in the first round, you've got like maybe a 50% chance that there'll be a decent star. If you start drafting quarterbacks in the 3rd round, the 4th round, the 5th round, and you hope they might become a Kirk Cousins or a player that actually, or a Brady, you are
Brady in terms of getting that ability was a fluke. Let's put it that way. You never going to see that again.
I would be shocked if next year, if we not sold on Haskins being the guy, that we're going to have to just look at QBs, and that might end up with us trading up. For the first, we might have to trade up to go and get someone. Whoever we like.
I think it's very important. Really important this season, one way or another, and I'm hoping that it happens. Not Ben get injured, really not. But I really want it to be in a situation where, like, maybe like Ben has a rest.
If we've got nothing to play for at one point in the season.
Yeah, Haskins needs to have. I was quite impressed with what I saw actually. In the preseason. I'm not even going to listen to the second, the final game because like it's already established that's all bollocks.
Game 2 became game 3. If you know what I mean, like the old game 3 where it was the dress rehearsal. That's now
exactly.
game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need to see, and it's so.
We had a
if I was a coach,
with the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah,
to win a fall game.
Yeah, exactly. And now we need to see it in a competitive environment. We need to see like Haskins like actually in a game. Playing like you'd expect him to play, because ultimately he's in some respect he's already done that with Washington, but now hopefully he's got like the team around him, hopefully stuff like that, the coaching around him, and we need to see. I think not necessarily just for the coaches, but like as Steelers fans, we have to see that because when you look at like the American sites, they're fucking brutal.
Oh, they're terrible. I don't want to defend Dwayne Haskins too much because what he's done in his young career. You don't necessarily want to defend a player who's been to strip clubs when his head coach has got cancer and things like that. But the situation for him was not enviable. You're drafted by a guy who is gone within the first 5 games of your career. You then have a defensive-minded head coach, Riverboat Ron, who probably didn't want you to begin with. You know how it is. Like certain guys, Ron probably comes in with his own quarterback in mind, his own system in mind, and if it doesn't involve you, then it's like a Josh Rosen situation where the guy coming in just happens to have you as some baggage, and for a young quarterback, that's really not easy to sort of deal with. The fact that we've come out and signed him, and the fact that he's got a head coach like Mike Tomlin, who's probably going to get on quite well with Dwayne Haskins. He seems like a Mike Tomlin kind of guy.
Well, he's a Virginia guy as well.
Exactly. Virginia guy. Mike Tomlin's got a habit of this. It reminds me a little bit of, and I think he has a higher ceiling than this, but it reminds me a little bit of when we brought Mike Vick in, where a lot of people around us, a lot of people around us were going, "Why are we picking Mike Vick?" And they're bringing up his past and everything. And you just think, well, because Mike Tomlin can get the most out of him,
and he did. He did,
and he did for a short while.
I mean, it was always going to stopgap. And Vic knew that as well.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why I say Dwayne Haskins has a higher ceiling, because I think Dwayne Haskins obviously has a longer shelf life. And
I would love to have been in that breakfast, because it was a breakfast, by the way. Mike Tomlin and Askin, they actually met for a breakfast, so there's probably having a bacon, and stuff like that, and like waffles and maple syrup and shit.
They're chatting about dragonflies.
Yeah, just having a chat. I just imagine like
a bacon butt in a coffee.
Headphones on, even though they're not plugged in, because it's not on the side of his field or anything like that. And just going. Haskins, are you a dragonfly? But then he look at him like this. Haskins just going. I'm a dragonfly. It's like, you're hired. That's what it'll be.
I think it's critical because like with Ben, I'm trying to remember, aside from last year, how many years Ben missed games because of an injury of some sort. And I'm not talking about where he's had like career, like season-end injuries like the elbow, but I don't remember a year this last decade where he didn't have a knee sprain here, or a stinger here, or I remember when he was playing Kansas City in 2012 and he had like the chest injury, and it was like, if you take one more hit, you're done, kind of thing. So Dwayne Haskins will get game time. I don't think there'll be any doubt, in my mind at least, that there'll be at least a game or two this year.
I've got a lot of confidence.
It's like such a hard schedule. It's such a hard schedule that you wonder, where's that rule going to be where we don't need Ben? Because we.
That's the problem.
Last season with the arm, because of the run game, he still is that quarterback where we're still trying to lean on him.
Totally, yeah. But my worry is that he does get hurt because of it. If the line can't protect him, or if we rely on him a bit, that's my hope for Matt Canada, is that we put a bit more reliance on a running game. Not because I'm a running philosophy guy, but just because I think it's going to improve Ben. Huge. I don't want to see Ben throw the ball 45, 50 times.
No, he won't have to. He won't have to. I mean, the only reason he did last season was because of the run game. That's the only reason.
100%.
And the O-line. That's why he was getting it out of his hands quickly, because his protection was 100%. So limited. 100%. So, that's the whole reason why that happened. And, the media says otherwise, and it says it was because Ben. I think the media look at stats. They don't look at the tape. They don't look at I mean,
Ben can turn the game around on his own when he had that ability to, but also in the same respect,
he needs a balanced offense.
He's not
he's best,
You do. It needs to be a 50-50%. Well, maybe not quite 50-50, but ultimately, you need to have that weapon. A better running game.
You need more. I can't think of many teams outside of Kansas City and Buffalo that will have success this year and not be balanced offenses. Exactly. Josh Allen can throw it 50 times a game. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, you all know what he can do. But outside of those two teams, there's not a quarterback. There's not an offense that can get away with having that kind of philosophy.
I'll put it this way. I'm saying this on paper and on video, whatever. Tampa Bay are not winning the Super Bowl next year.
No. I don't think
I think they've been overhyped a little bit.
Got Phil?
I think a dark horse in the NFC is the 49ers if they stay fit.
Agreed. Totally agree.
Who have you got?
They've shown what they can do if they all stay fit.
Yeah.
What's your view, Jason? NFC.
I've got NFC. I think Green Bay. They've had a little bit here and there, like Amari Rodgers, and yeah. Aaron Rodgers can change a game.
He does.
The little bits they've added.
If he's up for
it, I think they can do something. But I agree with the 49ers as well. I think they'll come back strong. I've got dark horses, Washington. I think if Fitzpatrick can just
that's very interesting.
Not lose again. Yeah, defense wise,
they'll have the best front four. They'll have the best front four of any team in the NFL. The Washington redacted.
Yeah, massive.
I mean, they're crazy good, and they've got an easy division
around the Rams as well. But
I was just about. I was thinking about that
first.
I prefer. I think the 49ers. I think they've now with Nick Bosa back, Ford. It's just they're just going to be legit on that defense.
Nick Bosa
so dominant on that.
Mostert back, Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert back. They're just getting right with the pieces now. If Garoppolo can just be serviceable and mix it up. I liked it when they were in the preseason when Trey Lance and Garoppolo were
I was about to mention
amazing.
The game against the Raiders where you had there was the commentator mentioned this and I was a bit annoyed because I was talking to my missus about this exact point as the commentator was talking about where the Cowboys of the 70s they did this where they would take Starbuck out and put I can't remember it could have been
it was it
could have been I can't remember if it was
Denver later on in his career.
Yeah they're going in and out between
Drew Meredith
snaps. Drew Meredith, that's it. And literally they're going one in, one out, per play. And I think if Shanahan figures that out, that's going to be a scary offense to watch.
Going to be
because I'm having flashbacks. I'm having flashbacks to that NFC Championship game against the Packers, where I think Garoppolo only had to throw it about 5 times in the entire game because their running game was so good.
I was hoping that they wouldn't take Matt Jones because the options either Justin Fields or Trey Lance in that offense are endless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That could be a scary. If they stay fit and stay healthy, that's going to be a scary team. I think. Because I can't imagine a team being able to stop that run, and it just changes the dynamic of every offense that you play. Because then they've got to throw the ball more. They've got to be more aggressive.
Yeah, they had Coleman though as well, didn't they? And where's he gone now?
Coleman.
Jets, I think.
Is he?
I think he.
And they have Matt Breeder as well, who's gone to the Bills, and I'm interested to see how he works in that.
Yeah, Tevin Coleman's a Jet.
Yeah,
I fucking hate the Jets. I'm sorry about the Jets. I've said this to Jason before. Cool. Right.
Let's hate on the Jets for a few minutes. That's fine.
Fucking hate the Jets.
Fucking Jets.
I don't know. I don't
Phil's
mind.
not going to New York for a holiday.
I'm paying 40 quid. I'm paying 40 quid in a few weeks to watch the Jets. That's how bored I am at home.
I don't know what it is about him. They're just the most irritating team ever. Like,
because they beat us in 2019.
The uniforms look shit. They're just pointless. Like, they're not even the best team in New York.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or in New Jersey.
People,
if you want to do it that way,
people support them because they are New York, aren't they? And it's the place where they want to go. You know, people don't want to go to Pittsburgh.
And then they're going to no, I just don't get them. I just don't.
Because it's based in Gotham as well. It's
but
Batman and all that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, true.
I don't like.
I'm thinking the Rams.
I don't like the New York Jets because they ruin quarterbacks. They ruin talented players, and they've become.
We don't do the same with Zach Wilson because I like. Obviously, he's so raw. He makes rookie Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes look polished.
I'd be interested to know how Sam Darnold works at Carolina.
Yeah, that'll be
interesting.
He looked a little bit against us. I mean, I know he won.
I know he does,
but in the early stages of that game, he was
I'm backing up a little bit.
Shocking.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you can hear you fine, Phil. Yeah, can you fine.
Oh, cool. Right, no worries.
I'll tell you what is interesting about a lot of these players that come from an Adam Gase system.
Oh shit! Have you heard this? Breaking news: Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards.
He's gone now. He's gone. It was so breaking. It broke his connection.
What's happened? Gus Edwards.
I still think he's. I think this is a joke of his. He's just very good at being a statue. I
think Gus Edwards tore his ACL, which we got news of a few hours ago. Yeah.
Sorry, it's just I thought it was a delay in my feed.
Is this the torn ACL for Gus Edwards?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Both him and Marcus Peters were apparently non-contact injuries.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, it's worse. That's
the worst.
Both of them were.
That's the old Teddy Bridgewater sort
of. Deshaun Watson as well.
He's the biggest person I feel sorry for.
Yeah.
When he played for the Vikings, I thought, you know what?
I really hope he does well in Denver.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, you've stopped again.
He's the best. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm rooting for Teddy. I mean, I don't know of a person that doesn't like Teddy. He just seems to be just a all round sort of
great guy,
respect player. Yeah. I don't know. I think Denver weren't happy though when they didn't draft a QB in the draft when they got Patrick Surtain. And
I don't think they were happy with either Mac Jones or Justin Fields though.
No, it's when
I think they fancied Trey Lance if they dropped to them. But
it was a funny situation though because you had Broncos fans wanting Justin Fields. They were upset because they'd taken Surtain.
I was going to say Justin Fields when the Bears just jumped up for it.
Yeah. So they were
going to be happy about that.
Yeah, Broncos were pissed because the Bears did that, and then the Broncos took Surtain, which then pissed off Cowboys fans because they really wanted Surtain. So they took. So it was just this really
domino effect,
chain reaction of just oh God,
That's the beauty of it, though, isn't it? That's the beauty of
the draft.
All this sort of stuff. I love
the draft. It's great.
Oh,
the politics of it all. It's great.
Oh, it's brilliant. What the beauty of the draft for me, more than anything else, is Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. Love him. I love Mel Kiper getting everything wrong. I'll write down Mel Kiper's predictions for the year, and a year later when they're all wrong, I'll just laugh because
Monte Matt, no matter what.
Unbelievable.
How does he keep a job? I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go because I've got work in the morning. So
yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, We'll wrap this up anyway. No, not a problem.
Yeah.
10:10.
Cool.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Apologies again for my really shit internet connection and I couldn't really join in. But you guys did great. You did absolutely brilliant.
Phil's gone,
I'll get this up as soon as I can. Yeah, if I think Phil's
Awesome.
gone. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm doing a game thread for later for Dallas and Tampa Bay. But obviously, hopefully, we'll get you guys around on the game thread on Sunday for our...
definitely.
Definitely.
What we're going to do against Buffalo. All right. So
I'll be there for Sunday.
Great. Thanks,
definitely.
guys.
I can't wait for that.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, Sunday definitely.
Hey, it's
Cheers,
been
guys.
an absolute pleasure. Nice chatting with you.
No worries.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Hey, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.